we don't buy views and likes
no.
none of that shit.
So we wanted to cater to the people, like with these questions. People, the general public doesn't understand how the promotional side works.
Yeah, they don't.
And that's why we wanted to cover that.
So I know, and I hate after such a great, breaking news that you just gave us, but I want people to hear your side of the story, because there was you got some backlash from the previous pay-per-views, and there's a lot of things that happened. With Regis coming out saying that his check bounced when it really didn't.
Let me outline it.
And then the whole ping pong situation with him not fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Can you clear the story and can you just
absolutely?
We want to give you this platform so you can let the people know your side and what happened.
Yeah, let me outline it first though, for in case anybody's misconstrued. So on the pay-per-view fight, Zepeda Prograis came out almost immediately on a tweet saying that his check bounced, his purse check, meaning the check he got paid for the fight,
but it didn't.
It bounced. And we did a video, and a lot of media started rambling about pointing fingers and shame on people, shame on this. And a few days later, my man Prograis comes out and he starts thanking, everybody. Oh no, it cleared. Everything's
good now.
Everything's great.
The next day he came on.
Thank Marvnation, thank the Easter Bunny, thank Santa Claus. and it was kind of, in my opinion, it's kind of like, man, you stuck your foot in your mouth. Like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
And we got the man himself. Give us the your end of it.
Well, first of all, let me tell you, it was my birthday. I wake up. Right?
Oh, that's right. It was your birthday.
I'm thinking
that's right.
I'm gonna see some birthday greetings right there. I wake up. First thing I always do is look at my phone, and then I see the tweet, and I'm like, what in the world? What happened? Obviously, I knew from the beginning that it wasn't true, because we made sure that we had the money to do it. This is one thing that I said from the beginning. I said, if we don't have the money to do it, I will cancel the show, because I'm not going to burn myself. I'm in it for the long haul. Mm-hmm. And if the money wasn't there, I have no problem saying, you know what, guys, we're going to have to postpone the fight. And not only that, but the WC did a great job of making sure that we secured their fighters.
The WBC?
The WBC and the California State Commission, they wanted to make sure they verified. Because obviously there's been some, some events that happened in the past that where fighters didn't get paid,
But not on that level. It can't be on that stage.
Yeah, big money.
Really?
Big money.
Really?
Yeah, and the crazy thing is it had just happened recently, like right before our show. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
Yeah, there was a big amount, huge amount that was owed still that was not paid. So, eventually I believe it got cleared up, but it took a long time to get it cleared up. But they just wanted to make sure that it didn't happen. And you know what? And it's a good thing. But see, once again, there's pros and cons to this situation, because a lot of people, when the news came out, people didn't know the circumstances, right?
Right.
And people blasted us, bro. They were like, oh, shame on you, this and that. And I even had somebody say, if you don't pay Regis, I'm going to come break your leg. I mean, like, bro, it's serious, bro. Fans are brutal, man. It's crazy.
Hey, you guys got to chill out, man. Chill.
But, yeah, but we took a lot of backlash, too, from the media, But, a lot of people see, I told you guys this is going to be another, one of those episodes. And
I seen one of those tweets. I told you.
People.
I got the comparison, not to Triller. I didn't see that one. I got the comparison to Rock Nation. They were like, oh, they're coming in to splash money and then they're going to disappear.
I forgot to even point that out. When we won the purse bid, I was telling you guys earlier, 5 minutes after we won the purse bid, I was getting a call that ESPN wanted they wanted us to talk. They wanted a story, right? And I was like, cool. We'll put it out there. And then all of a sudden, I start seeing my social media, and it starts going crazy. Marvnation, a little promotion called Marvnation won the purse bid, and who is this?
Oh, who is Marvnation?
They compared us. They said that we were MTK undercover. That's what they were saying.
Oh my God.
What the hell?
That's what they were saying. If you go back and you read the stories, it was Marvnation is an MTK undercover. They're being funded by MTK. There were stories out there that said that you know, we were like, who do we work for? Are we a part of Golden Boy? Or we a part? I mean, it was so many crazy stories out there.
All these allegations.
Yeah, you know,
Wow.
they were saying that we were doing it for clout, that we were going to win the first bid and drop the fight because in 10 days you have to drop a deposit.
Mm.
It was a huge deposit. And they said they're not going to pay the deposit. They're going to end up defaulting. And there were stories out there. So when all of this negativity came out, what I did is I stood quiet, you know? I stood quiet because usually that's how I handle stuff. I mean, for me to come out and speak, it's got to be on another level, you know? I stood quiet. I said, look, we're not going to say nothing to the media. We're not going to give any interviews. We had some interviews that were set up and we canceled everything because we were like, you know what? We're not going to talk right now because people
taking it twisted.
People are not going to believe what I say anyways because they don't know me. They don't know my company. Some of them have never heard of. The people that were from California or the places we've been working, they know who we are. They know what we've been doing. But the people around the world that was bringing these stories up, they didn't know us. So I said, we're going to talk with action. We're going to present the people who are coming on board. You know, we had, you know, Pat English, one of the most respectable attorneys in boxing, you know, that has represented huge deals in boxing. We brought on board Mike Taffet, who you know did HBO, all the huge HBO fights with Mike Tyson, like billions of dollars of pay-per-view. So we started bringing aboard some of the best in the industry that knew exactly what they were doing. And we said, we're not going to talk. We're just going to go ahead and present this. You know what I mean? We're going to show people with action. And that's what we did. Then the news started picking up. Oh, man, they're doing a deal with this person and with this person and with this person. So they started to understand we were legit.
So you were looked at to fail from the get-go.
From the get-go.
So when the whole Regis thing came out, people were like, I told you.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, my God.
So when that came out, people were like, see, we told you this was going to happen. People don't understand, though, that the banking system, I mean, there's been so many, the banks have been hit with billions of dollars of penalties for money laundering situations and stories that have come out about people laundering money to banks.
Yeah.
They become so strict, man. You can't write a check now without them trying to verify if it's really you. If you can't make a deposit without,
for sure.
I have business partners who deposited money into the accounts who are legit business people, but because they didn't like the amount of money that they deposit, they close their accounts. They close their accounts.
Yeah,
they send them letters saying, you know what?
Come pick up a check.
Yeah, we're
for
suspicious activity. We don't want to continue doing business with you. Take your check. So imagine we had an account that was open separately just for that fight, you know, just for that fight. For bookkeeping was the easiest way to do it. It was, you know, open for that fight. It was a brand new account, and over $2 million went through it in 48 hours.
Whew.
So the bank right away,
red flags.
The crazy thing is, Sean Cepeda got paid. His check cleared. You know, they decided to flag it on the last two checks, which was Regis, and there was one more fighter out there. But the reality is, all they did was put a hold on it. Which is normal. It's normal for $1 million check. They want to make sure. I mean, I'm surprised they didn't do that with Sean Cepeda. I'm really surprised they didn't do that.
It comes down to the branch. I've learned, you know, in reality, and everybody that I and I'll let you continue here, Marv. But when we put that video out stating it's allegations we don't know yet, and I think we just did a premature post, I got text messages and a few DMs on it. They were like, with like big laughing emojis and LOLs. They're like, doesn't this, I'm just quoting what it said. It's not me saying it, but they were like, no. Doesn't this fool know that when you deposit a big check, there's a hold? That's just how the banking system works. Yeah. This guy's, and I got a lot of, this guy's new to the big money, Yeah. And it's common because I've personally deposited $10,000. Me and my dad ran a business for a couple of years, and we would deposit $10,000. And these were business checks, exactly. $10,000, $50,000, and we couldn't touch that money for 5 business days.
Especially when it's a new account.
And a new account.
So that was the issue, you know. And I knew from the beginning, like, I'm gonna be honest, I got a call from the state commission. I got a call from the WBC.
Really?
Right away.
Oh wow.
Right away. I'm telling you, I woke up to my birthday, instead of happy birthday, like, where's my money?
How do you not have all these wrinkles, Marv? That right. Gotta be stressful.
You know what? You just gotta understand. This is my thing in life is, why stress if it can't be fixed? You can't do anything about it. And true. Why stress if it's gonna get fixed?
I'm stressed right now.
You're gonna eventually fix it. You know, that's how I learned to live. Like, you know what? If you got no control, there's nothing you can do no matter how much you stress.
That's
And
true.
if you got control of it, then don't stress, you're going to fix it. Eventually it's going to get fixed. And that's how we dealt with it. We were like, look, I knew it was going to get paid out, you know. And the commission knew too, because like I said, they verified. They just wanted to know what happened. And I, you know, explained to them, the WC, what happened. They came out, you know, thank for their support. WC came out and said, hey, calm down. It's going to get fixed. You know, we made sure they actually, because they took backlash too. Like they were telling the
WBC did?
They were like, oh, you see, you shouldn't allow new promoters to come in with these big amounts, and shame on you guys. And it's your fault. They were blaming them. They came out and put a statement. We verified, and the California State Commission verified everything was going to be okay. So they knew it was going to be all right. You know,
Yeah.
we explained to them, it's a bank. It's not, has nothing to do with us. They understood, but they took backlash. And then there was even comments. That's why, see, fans are brutal and they don't understand.
Brutal.
Look, they were telling the WBC, you shouldn't allow new promoters to come in. You guys should make them put all this money into escrow and, you know, things that seem logical, right? But you don't understand. You hurt the business by doing that. Because, yes, there's going to be some people that are going to come in and maybe burn some people and damage something. You know, it's happened.
Mm-hmm.
But then you keep all the new blood from coming in, because now you're putting, you know, mandates on a new promotion company that doesn't apply to the bigger promotion company.
So essentially, we're monopolized.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's against the law.
Right.
And
right.
fans don't understand that. If they do that, then they need to do that with every single fight.
Yeah.
And the big promotion company, they don't work that way. Nobody, you know, obviously they're not going to want to do that.
Right.
So you're going to hurt the business, you know? So, you know, the WBC, they obviously told people that it was going to be okay. The California Commission, and it got fixed within 4 hours. The money was released.
Yeah, because he dropped the video like a day or two later.
The next day,
Thanks
the next
so
morning,
much, everybody.
the next morning, he put a video out.
Did Regis reach out to you first, or did he
No.
punch that? He
No.
just punched that thing
He
out.
just went out on
Oh,
social
my
media.
God.
You know what?
Charlie.
You know, everybody deals with things
Freaking
differently,
Regis.
man. You know what I mean?
Emotional.
Every
It's
emotional.
emotional.
Everybody deals with it differently. I'm gonna say, I wasn't happy the way it was handled.
Sure,
But you know what?
Pissed.
But I also understand everybody. I mean, probably the best thing to have done is call us. Hey, what's up with the check? And we tell you we don't got the money. Then
That's
you know,
the logical thing. That's what I thought too. I called Chubbs. We spoke about it briefly, and I told him, "Do you think he called Marv or somebody?" And
I told you he didn't.
And he goes, "I doubt it."
No.
And I go, "Why? Why would this guy not reach out logically? You know, if I ever got a check from a vendor or a operator that paid me and it didn't clear, and it's happened,
yeah,
who's the first person I call? The person that the
Exactly.
check came from. Hey, you know, this check didn't clear. Are we going to get another one? Is there a problem? Should I worry? No. You know, it's a different account. Let me send you another one, and it gets resolved.
exactly. It
these-
got resolved within 4 hours, man. That was
That's
it.
good.
But
Freaking
you know
Regis.
what? I wasn't happy, especially waking up on my birthday. But I'm gonna tell you this though. Like I said, I think that news went more viral than the fight itself. You know, a day before.
It did.
You know,
It
or a
was
couple days
everywhere.
before.
Yeah, they were talking about the check more than the fight.
Yeah, so
man.
it actually, I mean, it was bad publicity for Marvnation, but eventually when it got cleared up, you know, we got a lot of love for people. Like I started traveling, like a few days later, I started traveling to conventions, to places, and people showed us love. Like, hey, you know, that wasn't right. What was done to Marvnation, you guys are trying to do something good, and
Yeah.
and you know what, we got that support from people because of that, and it also people got to see, you know what, we're here to do good. We're not here to hurt anybody in boxing, man.
Yeah, good.
No,
Well,
that's
I'm glad it all resolved. It got resolved in the proper way, and nobody got, you know, like I said, when he pulled out, and I didn't drop the second video because I'm like, man, I'm just gonna add salt to the name, but I pre-made a video where I'm like, come on, Regis, you know, Jesus, first you're talking all this stuff, and now you're thanking everybody and the freaking, you know, Easter Bunny too.
You know what, we're Regis, I could say.
He's very verbal too.
Yeah, that's just the way he is. You know what I mean? He's no filter, and you know what? It's like that's who he is. I can respect him because that's his nature. You know, but he's a humble guy. I think, you know, obviously he took a lot of backlash after that because, you know, people were like, "Oh, it's your fault. You jumped the gun."
Yeah, he deserves
But you know
it.
what? I'm gonna tell you. To me, you know, he's still a good guy. Like for me, I will work with him again in the
If he
future.
called you tomorrow, you say, let's do it.
Yeah, I will work. Like I said, there's no ego.
This guy has no pride, man.
You know
This
what?
guy's
The reality is,
I'd have been like, fuck up. No, just kidding.
the reality is, to me, you know, he carried himself very well against, you know, John Cepeda. Like he showed a lot of humbleness. He never trash talked. You know what I'm saying? Like he to me,
respectful.
he earned my respect from that point.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna let that little one situation. Well, it wasn't little; it was a huge situation, but it was a big problem for us. But I'm not gonna let that kind of just, like I said, he got emotional. Some people get emotional; they jump on there,
Everybody gets emotional over money. That's for sure.
and it can happen to anybody. Like I said, I'm not a person to go out there and really respond to negativity. I usually say, hey, I tell people it's gonna go away. Just leave it alone. But that's why I said I can understand. There's moments.
Yeah.
I had my social media team start jumping on there and blasting back to the media. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I gave them the green light. Obviously, it has to go through me first. I said, you know what? Let's do it. What do you think about this? Should we respond? Okay, let's do it. Why? Because, things need to change. The media needs to understand too. And I don't have a problem calling somebody out, especially if they're going to call me out.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? You have to do your due diligence. It's called reporting. You have to report.
Yeah.
Not just one side, two sides. There's two sides to a story. And I don't have a problem if we did something wrong, put us on full blast. Let the world know. But I respect, shout out to Supreme Boxing.
Shout out to
Shout out
Supreme.
Shout out to Supreme Boxing. Shout out to those 3 people probably that reached out and say, hey, Marvnation, what's happening? What happened? Can you tell us your side of the story? What happened? It's simple. The check's on hold, and and
It's a big check.
And what happened? They didn't report that side. They reported, hey, something happened with the check. We've been told that it's a hold on it, so they reported the true story.
Right.
But a lot of people jumped on that wave and they reported that, and you could
their
damage
benefit.
somebody. You could damage. I don't care, honestly. For us, at the end of the day, I think it did us more good than bad. I would say it was a bad thing, but like I said, we got a lot of support from people afterwards.
The negative turned into a positive.
And it took the news into the world. And then, yes, the negative turned into positive. So for us, it wasn't that bad, but you got to do a better job because you can hurt somebody's life. You can take somebody's career, damage it for life. You can take somebody to commit suicide right now.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
for
true.
sure.
Some people might not take it how Marvnation took it, like, oh, it's gonna be fixed. Some because it could seem like it's the end of the world. Like for 1 second, it felt like, man, the world's against us.
Yeah.
Everybody,
Yeah, because if any lesser person could have been like, oh, now we're tainted. Now we're not going to be able to do another show. And
People were questioning, are we coming?
Ruined.
Yeah.
There's no coming back from this.
We had some of our people and staff saying, are we going to bounce back from this? I said, absolutely, because we did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
We did nothing wrong, and the world will know the truth, But the media has to do a better job, because the next day when the truth came out and Regis posted the video, the reality is not a whole lot of people jumped on that news.
Crickets. Yeah.
It was quiet. And
Pay attention, you media, you clickbaiters. Pay attention.
Clickbaiters, for
See,
sure.
do your due diligence, man. Stop doing the drama for your benefit.
And guess what? And guess what? Then our social media team went out there and hit some media up like, hey, what happened to the story? You guys are quiet.
Yeah.
And they didn't like that. They didn't like that.
I bet.
They didn't like that. They didn't like that when they weren't on their page. They'd be like, hey, if that was fake news you reported, next time get the real story or get both sides of the story. They didn't like that. Oh, no, some people, instead of apologizing, they came back and be like, no, well, it's just still your fault. Like, how is it our fault?
That's ridiculous.
I'm not going to say no names, but I bet I can guess who it is. And I'm not going to say it.
They were like, it's
Get
your
your act
fault.
together.
It's your fault. You should have wired the money.
That's
They made
crazy.
excuses.
Oh, my gosh.
The commission requires you to have a check the night of the fight.
Yeah.
So they were like putting up excuses of why it was still our fault after everything got cleared up. So,
That's crazy.
But you know what? Shout out to the ones that have done a great job. Thank you for that support, for putting out
absolutely.
that story and letting people know, hey, don't jump the gun. Thank you, Supreme Boxing. Thank you for, asking, and those people that came out.
Absolutely.
The beauty of boxing, she called us. She called Marvnation. She gave us a call and said, hey,
shout out to you, Melody.
And she supported us. Yeah, thank you, Melody, because all of those supports are the ones that kind of like held us up in that moment.
Yeah.
Like there's some people that believe in us,
Yeah, I bet.
Most definitely.